in the past, if maybe somebody said something and you've got triggered, rather than go, oh, that's not very nice, why did you say that to me? Whoa, hang on, what about that upset might be with me? Why did I get triggered like that? That's strange. I don't think they said that particular thing to upset me. So maybe they can help me understand why I got upset. So there's a lot of personal development goes on for us to understand who the hell we are and why we're here. And once you learn that, and we all know that we're here for each other and not for ourselves, then you build on that. And it starts to become very magical after a while.
There was a time in my life, I remember one person that I would say wronged me back in 2001, and I carried this anger inside. For the time that I saw them again, what was I going to do? I'm not going to kill anyone or do anything like that because that would damage the future. I certainly wanted to punch them, or I don't even know what I would do. But I had anger, and it settled in for a while. And eventually was able to learn that, that's just, it's not helping me. Vengeance is not going to make this go away. So I learned to accept it and just let it go. And I feel that you've had that at a young age. You had that ability just to let that go and learn from it. So I applaud you for that, because that took me a while to learn that.
Have you heard Hal Elrod, the guy that does the Miracle Morning? Have you heard his story? His story is the same, isn't it? He had that accident, he was in hospital, and everyone was thinking that he should be upset about the fact that he wasn't going to walk again, as the doctors were telling him, although he did. And he's like, well, I've thought about it and I'm okay, I moved on, and I'm like, why would you spend time being upset about it? And I know it's a different mindset when you're in that space, and you're in bed and things aren't functioning in your body. But I applaud him for how he looked after himself in that space. It's like you've got to curate what's going on up here and here, and make sure that it's benefiting you.
What is it that you're creating in the world now, Gill, that inspires you and gives you energy in life?
Yes, I look at the world and I see that it's not quite functioning as it could. There's wonderful parts of the world, and there are parts that are just like people being angry with each other. And as a child, I would always be the peacemaker and want people to get on. So it's like, what can you do? Is you feel so on your own. You're like, oh, I'm just one person. If I want to sort climate change out, but what can I do? I can recycle. Yes, all right, I do that. And it's like, what else is going on? I want to sort the war out in Ukraine. I want to, it's like, well, you can't do it on your own, Gill. Come on. It's like, but I'm an optimist. And people call me, I'm naive. Don't be so naive, Gill. And I'm like, well, why not? And they would look at me like, oh, you're such a Pollyanna. And I'm like, the story of Pollyanna, right? Where she was this eternal optimist. And I'm like, why not? Why can't somebody be an optimist? And I just said, why can't you just love each other? We're all on this planet. Why can't we just love each other? That is a huge statement. So what I need to do is how can we get on together and understand that we are here to serve each other? So I've created a community around collaboration, not the collaboration in the business world where it's transactional. And, if we did a deal together, you might get 60%, I'll get 40%, or maybe I'll get a bit more. I don't know, but it's all about the money. When you collaborate from a place of kindness and compassion, and the question that you ask each other in a business environment was, how can I help you, rather than what's in it for me, all of a sudden it kind of turns on its head what's possible in the world. So having a community around collaboration, the being of collaboration rather than the doing of collaboration. And if the foundation of that collaboration is love, which I believe is our superpower, and we focus on human being first rather than our differences, we celebrate our differences rather than see them as a reason to keep us separate. We all have a wealth of knowledge and information because of the religion we practice, or the where we've come from, or our sexuality, or our gender, or all of these things are these amazing things. When you bring them together in a collaboration, can actually spark something wonderful. So if you then levitate that to the global place, what could be altered in our world if the collaboration is founded on love? What could be achieved along those lines? Now, that all seems very airy-fairy, doesn't it? But as individuals, when we come together, we're going to share our knowledge and our experience. So our businesses will benefit. When we come together to collaborate and we think and we have the mindset of how can I pay this collaboration forward? What I've just learned, I want to share with more people. I can help this community. I can help this charity. I can support this society. That's ripples on the pond starting to go out. So I'm passionate about bringing really good people together, connecting them up with each other when I say, look, the three of you could do something brilliant together. And then when they affiliate that with other people to make it a bigger project, or they connect it to a charity that then earns from the results that they have achieved. Now, they earn as well. Collaboration is going to bring money your way, but it's also, well, what are you going to do with that money? Some for you, some for me, some left over. Hey, look, what should we do with that? Who are we going to share it with? Who are we going to support? Who are we going to help? So ultimately, for me, the community is coming together so that we share what we have. And then for people that come, so for example, if you were to come to me and say, hey, there's this charity that wants to do some work with me, but I've done my pro bono work this year and I don't know, and it's going to cost £10,000. If we had the funds, we would go, hey, there you go, there's 10 grand, knock yourself out, go and do some good. Where at the moment, if you were in that position, you'd have to go and apply for a grant or go and get some finance somewhere or a GoFundMe project. And all of a sudden it gets more and more complicated. If you're living under a culture of love and connection and a sense of abundance, the kind of things I've just been talking about, where there's no right or wrong, there's just let's talk together and support and help each other. Then bit by bit by bit, step by step by step, we can change and transform the world that we live in. For one person, for the whole world. Who knows?
All of this. And I think the question that comes to mind to me is, if someone were to come to a collaboration global event or activity or gathering of some kind, if they were to come there, then how might you instruct them or encourage them to show up? Because part of it is showing up, it would seem like, with an open mind or showing up in some way. I mean, how might we invite them to show up so that they are open to collaborating like this?
So we have the culture, the ongoing culture we're teaching everybody at every meeting. So we talk about the mindset and the heart set, and we talk about the behaviors. So things like a mindset for collaboration is having a sense of adventure, trying new things out, being curious, being creative, having a sense of fun. I don't know about you, Matt, but if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not having fun. It's like, why are we doing this again? What's the point of this? There's only one time you're on this planet. You've got to make the most of it. All of those kind of things. And there's about a dozen of them that we kind of work on. And what a sense of fun means to me could be different to you. So we have discussions around, well, what does that mean? Does it mean that you're going to play a practical joke? And I'm like, well, for me, I'm not fun. That's not fun for me. So I'm not going to, I'm out, but knock yourself out if that's your thing. So, and having a generosity of spirit as opposed to a spirit of generosity. So it's learning how to listen carefully to people, learning how to have respect for them. The behaviors that we come to is that we realize that if somebody's on stage talking, we give them the respect of listening carefully. Now, you and I might go, oh, I've heard that stuff before. I'm going to just do a couple of emails while they're talking. That's okay, because I've got stuff to do. Now, hang on a minute. They're saying it for the first time. And the context of you're sitting here for the very first time, that you have to listen and be respectful of the preparation and the thought that went into what they were saying. So it's ongoing learning from each other and respecting each other and finding out this is a good way to live, because then it spills out into your everyday life. So in the past, if maybe somebody said something and you've got triggered, rather than go, oh, that's not very nice, why did you say that to me? Whoa, hang on, what about that upset might be with me? Why did I get triggered like that? That's strange. I don't think they said that particular thing to upset me. So maybe they can help me understand why I got upset. So there's a lot of personal development goes on for us to understand who the hell we are and why we're here. And once you learn that, and we all know that we're here for each other and not for ourselves, then you build on that. And it starts to become very magical after a while.